Hi everyone, Tara Gigi here. It's been a while since I've made a video, but for whatever reason, today's the day that I'm going to do what I normally do first thing in the morning when I come in here in the mornings, and that is light my candle. But this one will not light anymore because I have this little tiny lighter because Scott took the long one too. So I always light. I get these candles when I'm in HEB. They sell them online. I think they're kind of religious candles or something. I don't know. There's no real reason I haven't been doing videos other than I've just been super uninspired. I've been going through real difficult emotional time for no real reason, just kind of invented. That's not true, but well, sort of, it is. As most of you know, Scott retired a couple of weeks ago. And so there's been a lot of transition in this time. And it's just now kind of settling in because his last day was December 15th. And now he is, but we were packing for Christmas, wrapping presents, shopping, driving to Florida and back. So we haven't had a normal time where it's just us. And so we kind of joke around that today's the actual first day, which is January 4th. Because yesterday would have been a holiday. So today's the actual first day of his official retirement. Plus we got our last paycheck on December 31st. So that really tells you he's retired. So anyway, it's been interesting. I really like it. I mean, I woke up this morning to a beautiful fire. It was 32 degrees outside and he had built this most perfect fire ever. He had my coffee ready. It's got coconut milk in it and it's just so yummy. Oh my gosh. If you want a little switch, buy yourself some coconut milk. Not creamer, but coconut milk. Comes in a carton or a can. I bought the carton this time. Okay, so let's talk about 2022. It all came to me last night. I wanted to show you this first. This is, and I showed it to you 2 years ago. This was my vision board for 2020. And I absolutely love it. I think it's so pretty and so cute. And it makes me happy every time I see it. It's been hanging in my closet here. But it's got a blank slate. That's ticky-tack. It's a blank slate on the back, so I am going to make a new vision board, but it's not going to be like you think. It's not even a vision board. I don't even know what it is. A happiness board. I don't know. But I'm going to do that on the back. 2021, I didn't make a vision board. I kind of did a little bit of a spiritual vision board on the inside of my journal for last year. But anyway, so I've been kind of thinking about that and thinking about, I'm sorry if you can hear the trash guys coming. I've been thinking about that, and this year is just so open-ended that I didn't really think a vision board was appropriate because Scott and I don't have a vision. We're just going to let it unfold. I mean, yesterday we took our first walk together. We put our new coat. We have these coats we bought last year at Costco that were so inexpensive and so great. And we're going on a trip, hopefully, that we need our coats and we need, Scott needs to be able to walk up and down a lot of stairs at this place we're going. So I think y'all know that he he stepped through a drain and the drain cover cracked on our patio the day after the hurricane. He was dragging tons of limbs and stuff. And when he stepped across it, but he actually stepped on it and it cracked and his foot went down into the drain, which was about this deep, about this wide. And he fell onto his knees. And ever since then, his hips have been messed up or something's wrong with, he says his hips. I don't know what that actually means. So we decided to start, and he's been to the chiropractor many times. He's been to, he's gotten it x-rayed. He's been to physical therapy. And one more thing he did. Anyway, I can't remember the third thing. Massages. So now we're just going to start walking slowly every day and working him up to that point where he can walk a lot. And then we got to work on stairs. So, I mean, he walks fine, y'all. But the place we're actually going 3 different places. I'll tell you more about it later. But they're all walking places. So, yeah. So anyway, I was sitting last night. I was thinking about the new year and the fact that I don't really have a vision for it because I don't want to try to lock us in. And I asked Scott yesterday, I said, by the way, this is going to be a rambly video. I asked Scott yesterday, you want to sit down and set some goals? And he goes, no, I don't want any goals. And I go, what do you mean? And he goes, and he started talking about goals in such a negative way. And I realized he was talking about goals that were set for him at work each year, especially this time of year. For, you have to make 2 million more next year on top of the 4 million y'all made last year. And you have to cut staff and you have to do this and cut hours and make equipment that's broken work and all this kind of stuff. And I realized that the word goals that's not what. So we just kind of made a a brain dump of things we need to do around the house that have been put off because we've been so busy back and forth over the past 3 years about that. But right now, this winter, I think we're just going to kind of take it easy. I thought about, what could be my verse of the year? And I don't have a verse because I have so many verses. First of all, I couldn't have picked one. But this is something I read somewhere and I don't know where. It says, enjoy the adventure of finding yourself through losing yourself in Christ. And so I was thinking about that. I've got it written on my little thing. Something else I did, I pulled this out. It's very cute. It's very sparkly. You might have seen it on Instagram. And it says, it's always darkest before the dawn. Out of the darkness, walk into the light. So here's the little girl in the dark storm, and here's the light. So that's another kind of a theme I've thought about for this year. But again, I don't have anything concrete. So Scott has gotten into the show Yellowstone. My kids watch it, and they told him to watch it. And so he sat down to watch the first episode, and he told me I couldn't watch it or I wouldn't want to watch it because the language is terrible. So he's been going through that entire 4 seasons and loving every minute of it. Scott just has a thing about the West. He wanted to be a rancher when he grew up, that he had specific plans for what school he was going to go to and all this stuff. And he was living in Nebraska when he was a kid, and that was his goal. He was going to be a rancher. He was living on his uncle's ranch. But it all fell apart. The aunt died, the uncle sold the ranch. They moved to Texas, and that was the last of it. But I know in his heart he's always wanted to be a rancher. So it's kind of interesting. He loves the show. Like, wow, loves it. So that has given me a lot of free, quiet time just back in my room. Well, last night I was thinking about 2022. And I thought, I don't want to approach it the way I approached 2021, which is I just kind of let 2020 slide into 2021, and there was no real change. Things just kind of got, worse. Sort of, depends on how you look at it. But I got out my old little notebook, and I was thumbing through it and everything. And I don't know where this came from, y'all, but I just started thinking about can I choose a word of the day? Can I choose a word of the year, saying of the year? What can be a jumping off point? Or the main question I ask myself, what would I want in my life if it was only one thing? If I could say in 2022 I was only going to have one thing, what would it be? And I chose, at first I was saying reimagine your life, because that's what we're doing. We're reimagining it. Scott is no longer back and forth to work. We are no longer back and forth between the apartment and the house. This is the house we plan on living in as long as humanly possible. So we we've kind of already reimagined, actually. So, but what are we going to do going forward? And I thought, what would the one thing be that I wanted? And what I want more than anything is optimism. I'm tired of being a pessimist. I've been a pessimist since I was a little girl. I've always been a half full, kind of half empty kind of a person. But then I was sitting there thinking while I was thinking about this and thinking about how negative I am and how much of my life is spent in the worst case scenario, living the worst case scenario before it happens. It's just something in my personality. It's a flaw. I'm calling it a flaw. And so, I've tried, trust in God more, focus on the Lord. And that 100% has been working. But I had a real trial in my brain in the past 2 months of just really going down a rabbit hole of darkness. And I couldn't seem to get out of it. And it was really hard. And I prayed and I quoted verses and I crawled out of it somehow, or God lifted it, or whatever was going on. I don't know. I can't explain it. But I was thinking about that. And that's the thing I wanted to leave behind. Negative vision of the future. Negativity. Worst case scenarios. Always planning for the worst to happen. I'm sick of it. I can't control this world. I can't control anything. So why am I living the worst case scenario before it really happens? Right now, I've got food, shelter, water, Scott, beautiful little home, and warm and cozy, blah, blah, blah. So this is what I thought. Oh no, something came into my mind that I heard my dad saying in my mind. It came to me. I don't know from where, but the words were, "Little girl, you need to take off your rose-colored glasses." He called me little girl even when I was grown. He said, "You need to take off your rose-colored glasses." And I started thinking about that. And he didn't mean that in a bad way. But I thought, was I at some point sort of a Pollyanna? Was I always thinking things would work out for the best? Because I can picture him saying it when we're in some sort of a conversation. And I'm a teenager when I was really, really, really happy. I really had a good fun teenage years. If I went back, I'd probably undo what I just said, but I remember them that way. And I think I had an attitude of everything's going to work out, even if I'm not doing everything right or working hard or something. That would make him say, "You need to take off your rose-colored glasses." But I kept thinking about that saying, and I thought, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put back on my rose-colored glasses. I'm going to start wearing them. And I all of a sudden got so excited. And so I wrote here, my theme of the year, that ends up being 2, is La Vie en Rose, which is a famous French song. You've all heard it, by Edith Piaf. And what's interesting is I've been working on it on my keyboard. So I had this La Vie en Rose thing. Oh, shoot. Okay, this is going to have to be a 2-parter, y'all, because I'm way past my time. Okay, I've come back and had to add this in, that this video is going to be 2 parts. So, but I'm going to upload them back to back so that you can just keep watching. But since I'm on my phone and I'm using my phone as my editor until I get a new phone, blah, 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 I'm going to, I can only do 15 minutes. So this is going to be a 2-parter, so bear with me and watch the second part as soon as this is over.